Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar on 30 killer internet security tips. This webinar will be presented by Mr. Nikhil More. Nikhil is an online marketing expert at Quickhill Technologies Limited and has over 9 years of experience in digital marketing and a passion for technology, usability, and photography. Nikhil is also a recognized expert in the internet marketing strategies for the antivirus industry. At Quickhill, Nikhil is associated with the company's cybersecurity program, which is the company's corporate social responsibility initiative. I will now hand over the proceedings of this webinar to Nikhil.
Thank you, Saurabh, for this warm introduction and welcome everyone to today's webinar on 30 killer internet security tips. Now, as you all agree, internet today has become the forte, if not primary, the important medium of communication where you connect with people, you connect with your peers, friends, colleagues, people across borders, people across different cities, everywhere around the globe. Internet has become a medium of connection. Today, if I need to talk to a friend of mine who's sitting in New York, I don't need to pick up my phone and call him, but I just need, start a hangout session with him or do a WhatsApp call, and I'm connected. I can see my friend, I can talk to him, I can, share expressions through various different mediums. So internet has become a forte. But as internet has this beautiful side to it, there is also some necessary protection steps that need to be taken by an individual to make sure you stay safe on the internet and not be a prey to the bad people, the cyber criminals on the internet trying to take advantage of your innocence. Let's see let's check. A knowledge check is something I have for you. Do you know that the most basic computer security measures we must follow is choosing a strong password? Now, it's like a door to your house. The stronger the lock and the protection mechanism, the better you're protected is your house. It goes without saying. Let's see what are the topics that we would be covering today. So there are only two things that we'll be covering. The first is the 30 security tips that every internet user must follow. And the second important part is how does Quick Heal play a role in protecting you, you as in the individual and the individual's computer or mobile phone, or as the device may be, from all the types of threats that are present on the internet. Just a few things that I would like to actually say before we actually begin today's presentation and go dive deeper inside the tips. Please feel free to take notes from this webinar. You can, if you have questions about any particular topic that we are discussing today, you can ask us in the question answer window, the chat window that's available on our dashboard. So we would take up all these questions at the end of the session. This session is in recording, so all this recording, the video recording would be present, would be hosted on a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is Quick Heal YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/Quick Heal, and the presentation would be hosted on SlideShare. So in case you need to refer to any of your presentation or any of the slides later, you can definitely visit SlideShare and check this presentation PPT. Without any further ado, let's go ahead. Let's see what are the 30 security tips that every internet user must follow to ensure safety of his device, safety of the information in the device. First and the most important, as we said, create a password that has a mix of uppercase, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Password, now the importance of a strong password is not only been emphasized by QuickHeal, but any prominent or popular internet portal that you might come across. You might come across Gmail from Google, or you might come across Facebook, Twitter. All these websites emphasize on a stronger password. A stronger password does not necessarily be of a greater length, longer length. Ideally, it could be 10 or 15 characters, but it needs to have a mix of uppercase, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. Second tip is use secure browsing for your Facebook account. Now, secure browsing is a security feature. With secure browsing, Facebook encrypts your activity wherever it's possible, whatever situation. This makes harder for any cyber criminals or anybody else than you to access your Facebook information without your permission. So secure browsing is a safety measure implemented directly by Facebook to ensure that your Facebook information is restricted to you and is not available for anybody else to be used on your behalf. Never shop or bank using unsecured Wi-Fi network. Now, this question might arise to your mind why you should not connect to unsecured networks. Let me give you an example. Say you are sitting in a coffee shop and you decide to check your Facebook account or your email just to kill time because probably waiting for your friend to arrive. Now you scan the available networks for available Wi-Fi networks and see that one Wi-Fi network available is open and unsecured. You connect to the network and start surfing the internet. The coffee and free Wi-Fi, what could be better, right? But no, that's wrong. A hacker is also fond of coffee shops and he is located within the range of the router you connected to. He's waiting for one or more people to connect to the network so he can start a man in the middle attack. Within a few minutes, he could gain access to all your passwords, including your bank accounts, emails, and any and everything else. So, make sure if you are connecting to a Wi-Fi network, you don't do financial transactions or you don't do transactions where you have to use your username and passwords. You can do activities like checking the news, reading a blog, because that does not require authentication, which means to say it does not require you to use a username password to access the information. Any free public information can be accessed via these type of connections, but not secure connections like internet banking or shopping for that reason. Next, tip number 4 is never visit banking or shopping sites via emails. Now, what does this mean? Let's dig deeper into this. Uh, the most common way that a phishing attack person or a phisher, we would call it, gets the ball rolling on the bank phishing attacks is by sending out thousands and thousands of spoof emails. These emails are carefully crafted to look nearly identical to the type of correspondence that are sent out by banks actually. Skilled fishers can replicate the logos, layout, and the general tone of such emails to uncanny degrees. They bank on the fact that the most people are quite busy, and at a glance, these spoof emails appear to be legitimate. As a result, the recipients are most likely to take what is written there in those emails very seriously. One way of avoiding falling victim to spoof emails is by looking at them closely. Never assume that such messages originate from legitimate sources. Be especially vigilant in the email request information from you. For one thing, no legitimate bank is going to include a form within an email that they send to you. This is a well-known phishing ploy and this should be raised a big red flag for you. Look closely at the sender's email address as well. Above else, double check on the bank's actual website or give a call to your bank just in case you have a doubt. Spoof bank emails most likely include links that will not take you to spoof bank websites. Like spoof emails, spoof bank websites look nearly identical as the legitimate counterparts. One sign of a spoofed bank website is a pop-up window that demands various types of credentials. There are many scripts that phishers can use to make the pop-up window appear, and the real bank never uses them. Never follow a link to your bank's website. The most trusted way of doing it is type the URL of your bank website in the browser address bar. Or if you want to be double sure, you can use search engines like Google, where you can type the bank's name in the Google search bar and Google will throw up results for the legitimate bank's URL. Next tip, very important one, tip number 5, avoid using your official email address for social media sites or any other websites other than that of the organization. Now, social media websites can pose a number of risks to networks. Social media websites includes blogs, wikis, forums. Let me give you a few more examples. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn is definitely social media sites, but also Google Plus and Wikipedia. Now, due to their popularity, social media websites are a common way for malicious adversaries to gather information about an individual or a company or the company's employees, projects, and the networks. Now, adopting sound security practices when using social media websites decreases the risks of data spills and social engineering threats. If you or your company is using social media websites as an authorized means of communication, ensure that all information you post is approved and recorded. Limit the publication of your official email address, including in the documents made available on the social media websites. What you can do is you can supply a generic corporate email address or use web contact forms instead of individual email contacts wherever it's possible. Tip number 6, delete old and inactive online accounts. Now, if you are seeking to escape the internet, while online notoriety thrills some people, for others it can become a great burden. Erasing yourself completely is not always possible, but it's possible that you have joined up more sites than you'll ever remember. The more well known the site, however, the better it is to remove yourself from it when trying to disappear from the internet. This won't necessarily resolve deep web memory of you, but it's a good start. Um, I'll give you a list of sites where I think if you could use those in principle sites could help you remove yourself from the internet. Like delete yourself from your Facebook account, from your Twitter, from YouTube, LinkedIn, Flickr, popular blogging site like Tumblr, social media site like MySpace, payment site like PayPal, auction sites like eBay or other auction sites, other advertising groups that you may have associated with. Your alma maters like your school, college, universities do this only if you are no longer enrolled there. Delete yourself from game sites, remove all your information from game sites. Yes, that includes all the virtual items you have won and have taken to yourself in pride for all those years. Give it away to people you know what the stuff in the site permits. Close associate accounts, associate sites such as Hootsuite, TweetDeck, etc. are third-party applications that help you to use your social network accounts. Don't forget to use them. Always log out once you are done. Now, this is the most essential when you're using a system in a cyber cafe. So, whenever you're using a public computer, like in a cyber cafe or a library, remember that you may be still signed into any service that you might be using even after you've closed the browser. So, when you're using a public computer, be sure to sign out by clicking on the on your account photo or email address in the top right corner and selecting sign out. If you use public computers often, then always try and use two-step verification to help you keep your account safe. But be extra careful to sign out of your account and shut down your browser when you have finished using the web. Do not make your photos or videos public on the internet. Keep them visible only to people you know personally. See, the world is a reality TV, and sometimes we cannot resist the opportunity to snap up a pieces of fame. We are posting funny pictures of ourselves to amuse friends and followers. We publish photos of our little kids for the same reason. We don't apply any security settings as we don't want privacy. Basically, we want everybody on the web to melt looking at little cute ones. Unfortunately, it does not work this way. In future, kids are probably going to say thank you, mom and dad, for making this decision. For some instances, we may feel the displeasure, even here and now. Think about the consequences. See, if you upload a video of your kids on YouTube or Facebook, more likely than you'll have face trolls sooner or later. They pursue the site, leaving ill-favored comments below popular videos, no matter how sweet, cute, and innocent these recordings are. If you are wanting internet fame, be ready to confront the opposite side nasty comments. Looking for a video, do you really like it? Do you think it deserves all these disgusting comments that you might be added to it later? Better not to post videos and photos publicly. A very important tip number 9, always keep your computer's operating system and other programs up to date and patched. Face it, software isn't perfect. It's bad enough that bugs in the code occasionally make a program crash just when you are about to defeat the final boss and finish a level. That's worst if the hoarders of cyber criminals are constantly seeking flaws in the operating system and the other software vulnerabilities that will lead or let them steal your passwords, install a malware, and otherwise give you grief. The bad guys find a hole, the good guys release a patch, and you, the user, will we will prefer to use the patch instead of the security hole. So if you're using Windows, you absolutely must turn on automatic updates to get all the important security patches. It's worthwhile to occasionally visit windowsupdate.microsoft.com and see that non-critical updates are available. Uh, okay, you might say that, but I heard that the bad update damaged some of the PCs. Well, that's the story from the past. Let's move on. Let's go. Let's turn on automatic updates. Turning on automatic updates protects all your Microsoft software, including Office. Now, if you are a Mac user, Mac users need to shape up well. Yes, Apple was slow with a patch for vulnerability that permitted a few months back a massive flashback infestation. But even after the patch came out, researchers determined that too many users did not apply it. Others who upgraded to Mac OS 10.7 Lion but did not update the FileWatt encryption tool left passwords exposed due to coding error. Mac users who get their software through Mac app stores should download all available updates or at least the security related updates. It's a relatively painless process thanks for the centralization. Now coming to the tips for your smartphone. Protect your smartphone with a screen lock or a PIN uh, or a password. So setting a password on your phone is the first line of defense. So only you can access the important data on your phone. Imagine if you want to protect your house, would you leave your house front door unlocked? No, correct? Similarly, your phone also contains valuable information and you want to keep this information safe. Now, what is the information we are talking about? To start with contacts, calendars, files, social networking sites, passwords. All this information, if it falls in wrong hands, a password will help protect it against falling into the wrong hands or a pin for that reason. Uh, Now for smartphones, for Android-based smartphones, I'm sure I'm going to share you a small way in which you can set a password. Depending on the type of phone, depending on the type of Android phone you have, you can select the unlock system. It could be a personal identification number or an alphanumeric password, whichever you want to choose from. It could be, so how do you do that? So you go to your Android phone, you tap the menu button from the home screen, then you choose security, then you choose settings, I'm sorry. From settings, you go to security, from security, you go to chain screen lock. Now, the exact phrase might vary from phone to phone, but in the chain screen lock, you'll find the options to set up a password, which could be a PIN or a password. For iPhones, you can click on settings button from the home screen. From settings, select general, select passcode. This will open the set password screen. Now you can enter your four-figure code in here and your password is set. It's as simple as that. Install apps only from trusted and official sources. Tip number 11. Now, there are thousands of applications which are being downloaded each day for entertainment or to make our lives easier. But along with fun and convenience offered by mobile devices, uh, there comes increased risks of malware infestation. Money isn't just made from popular apps like Angry Birds, it's also lucrative to create malware disguised as legitimate applications to mislead users into allowing additional permissions that give access to the accounts, storage, contacts, or network communication, system tools, and settings. Some malicious applications are also known to mimic banks, deceiving users into entering their financial information. Looking ahead, it's only going to get worse as a mobile device become more affordable. Security software companies have rolled out malware detection applications due to the amount of malicious software already discovered. Okay, so what you can do, download applications from trusted sources, which could be in case of Android, the Google Play Store, or in case of the iPhone, the Apple Store. For Android users, leave the check mark unchecked for allow installation of apps from unknown sources in your security settings. Read the ratings and the reviews. People love voicing out their opinions and frustrations, especially when money is involved. So, ratings and reviews will be a key indicator if you should install that app or not. Refrain from rooting or jailbreaking your mobile device because when you do this, you are granting administrative rights and allowing installations of any unverified software on your mobile device. Tip number 12, very important one, turn off Wi-Fi location services and Bluetooth when these services are not in use. Now, there are several technologies on your phone, including Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and cellular data, that are made to continuously check for signal when you are out and about. Continuous checking of these services requires power, which comes from the battery of your phone. It makes sense that when you turn off these different wireless features, you do not need them. This helps in your battery life to last a little bit longer. Here's how to do that. Now, Bluetooth can be found in the settings app. Tap into it, launch, and then tap again on Bluetooth. Toggle the switch to off for iPhone or just switch off on in case of Android. Tap the settings back arrow and then tap to the Wi-Fi area. You tap again to toggle switch off for iPhone. Same way you can do it for Android. It just takes a matter of few seconds to turn on and turn off these services. Do remember, if you are not using them, they are going to help save your battery and hence save the use of your phone also. Very important tip, tip number 13. Do not install apps that ask for unnecessary permissions. Now, tell me one thing honestly. Do you actually read this list of permissions that Android apps are asking before you install them, and do you understand all these permissions? If your answer is no, then you definitely need to think about it twice. I know, most of us don't treat those permissions like terms and we treat them as terms and conditions, blindly tapping our way through. But as a matter of fact, you need to be aware of them because some of these permissions include some of the apps which are required to make phone calls on your behalf. If they you basically ask for a permission to make phone calls on your behalf. So, or some of these applications track your geolocation, location of the places where you visit. Some of the apps permissions including reading your browsing history, going through your contacts, going through your text messages, your photos, calendar, etc. Even share this personal information with third parties without your knowledge. But do they actually need those permissions? No, no doubt Google's Android mobile operating system has a powerful app permission system that forces app developers to mention the exact permissions they require. But there is one major issue for Android users. Android app permissions. By default, it's take it or leave it situation, which means to say you can either choose to install the app granting all the permissions to it or simply just not to install it. It appears like every app developer wants to access as much as possible information on your phone. But controlling these permissions for a user is a little complicated. And installing apps without understanding permission makes it difficult for you to control these apps or control the information these apps have access to. Rather, staying away from such apps really sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Important tip, as we have mentioned earlier, avoid rooting or jailbreaking your device. A very simple reason not to do it, not to root or not to jailbreak your device is because every software manufacturer, even the Android operating system and the Apple's iOS, sends out patches to make sure all the vulnerabilities in the software application are patched. When you root or when you jailbreak your device, you are basically increasing the backdoor entries, the vulnerabilities, and you're exposing your device to these vulnerabilities by doing such acts. So, our recommendation, strong recommendation, is don't root your device or jailbreak your device. The other danger in doing it is you might also be in danger of losing the warranty on your device. So, best practice not to do that. Avoid storing sensitive information like passwords, user IDs, etc. on your mobile device. Very important one. Safeguarding your personal information is very important. When using a mobile device, follow the tips to ensure safety and integrity of your mobile transactions to protect from your bank accounts. Avoid storing sensitive information like passwords. Other information could be your Aadhaar card number, your if you're from the US, your social security number on your mobile devices. Password protect your mobile device and lock it whenever it is not in use. Most importantly, be aware of your surroundings. Don't type or use sensitive information if others are surrounding you and they can see what you're doing. Increase your knowledge about cybersecurity threats and basically the concepts of cybersecurity. This will not only help you to protect yourself, but it will also help making the security of a device more robust. Always trust your instinct. If you think an online offer is fishy, assume that it is. Now, I have a principle that I follow. If an offer looks too good, as an offer, I am going to think about it as is it really true? I will do everything possible to check the genuinity of that offer. I will read for reviews. I will check the reputation of the seller. I'll check the reputation of the website where I'm finding an offer for. And if I find anything fishy about it, I will just not go and shop from that site. This is something that I follow. I think it's a good practice, and everyone who is vigilant enough should also go with their instinct. You can always seek advice from your friends in case you are not sure about things also. Next thing, always lock your computer and your smartphone when not in use. Rule of thumb, if you're leaving your house and you're leaving your house empty, it's better to lock it. Same way, same goes for your computer, same goes for your smartphone. The moment you have stopped using it, just lock it so that nobody can take advantage of your open device. Do not save your credit or debit card information on websites. A very important thing, people. It might be a website, it might be a browser. Do not save your information on third party sites. Do not save it in your browsers also. The very basic reason to it is if you it is susceptible to attacks and your information is at loss. I mean, even if the third party website is hacked, your information is stolen, your financial information if stolen, you are at a financial loss. So best practice is not to store information on third party sites. Tip number 20, change your online banking password every 6 months. Very important thing to do. If you are a regular user of internet banking, change your passwords every 6 months. I mean, it's a not a very long or very short duration. It's a good practice to keep changing your passwords because that would add an additional layer of security to your device, to your banking account credentials, hence making your banking account hack proof. If you're buying from an unfamiliar website, go for cash on delivery. This is a good practice that I recommend. A lot of people keep asking us if a particular site is safe for shopping or not. Well, if you're in doubt, if a particular site which you do not know is good enough to do it, ask your friends or family. The best option to do is to do a cash on delivery where you actually receive the goods, you open it, you check the quality, you are satisfied that it is good, you pay for it. Simple as that. While giving away any of your personal information, ensure that the website's URL begins with an HTTPS and is accompanied by a padlock symbol. A very important tip here, folks. Whenever you are doing a financial transaction or you are using a username password, like using a Facebook account, the site has to start with an HTTPS and there needs to be a padlock symbol on it. This ensures that the site where you're inputting information is secure and your data remains encrypted so that it becomes unstealable. Don't select options whenever you are logging onto a website. Don't select options like keep me logged in or remember me on websites. Well, it is very convenient to do it. I understand, you don't want to go through the pain of typing your username and password again. But trust me, this is the best thing to do. Don't keep your things in the memory because saving information that way is not a very secure method of saving information. Rather, putting it every time is the most effective way of making sure it's unstealable. Tighten your privacy settings on Facebook. Now, Facebook in itself has given a wide variety of minute security details. So you can decide upon what information needs to be shared with who can post things on your behalf, who can pin you or tag you in a particular post. A lot of things that Facebook has done. Take advantage of all these privacy settings because it's your personal identifiable information which gets exposed to marketers or to anybody else, cyber criminals, for example, who are in looking for such kind of information on popular social media networks like Facebook, and they can take advantage of it against your will and wish. Tip number 25. Before downloading or installing any kind of free software, do a quick research on the software and the website which is hosting the software. Now, it's a good idea to check the publisher of the software and the reputation of the publisher. And it's also good to check the reputation of the website from where the software is being downloaded. If unsure, Seek help from your friends, or you can contact a security professional who can give you advice on should you be downloading stuff from uh, XYZ website, or should we download an XYZ program. Always check out, use search engines like Google to check the reputation of these software. It's a good practice one should always follow. If you have downloaded a file online, ensure that you check its extension before clicking on it. A lot of times, this is a way a lot of malwares attack. Say for example, you download a music file which has an extension saying .txt. It's highly unlikely that that could be a music or a media file, because a .txt extension is for a text file. It could be possible that these files are malicious and can cause problems to you. So stay away from such files. Secure your wireless network at home by changing the default password and using a WPA2 encryption. Now, whenever you install a router in your house, this has a default password. There are two-level passwords. One password is for you to connect to devices. That needs to be done because that makes the Wi-Fi secure. Second level, there is an admin level password in your Wi-Fi device. That is a default for, it's a default factory fitted username password, which also should be changed so that no cyber criminal can attack your home network via your router. Assume that everything you put on social networking site is permanent. The social media or the internet has a very vast memory. Nothing is erasable from this memory. So whenever you are putting anything on the web, make sure that you want to put it because it's going to stay there forever. So be careful. Don't put up stuff which you probably might repent putting it on social media. I know young ones sometimes in the youth, the energy of the youth, put up things, put up obscene film pictures of themselves, or party that you've been to, crazy pictures, which you might regret, because what we have also read about is a lot of companies when they do a background check, they do a social media check for you when they do recruitments. So don't post anything on the internet for which you'll be sorry for later. Type the address of the social networking site directly into your browser and use your personal bookmarks. A very important tip. If you think a name of a website is a little complicated and you may not be able to remember the name of it, bookmark it. Very simple. But don't click on the links which is available given in an email, or you find it anywhere on any website. If you especially want to type in the name of your social network, just go to Google and type it in Google, the name, and it will give up the website to you. The last step, accept friend requests only from people you know and people whom you are acquainted with. Don't open doors to strangers. I was taught this when I was a kid. Don't accept things from strangers. Don't talk to strangers. Now, if these things were taught to us as children, I believe these things are also applicable when you are on social media networks. Don't accept friend requests from people you don't know. It's good to have friends whom you know, because your friends will protect you when you are in need. But you never know who is posing as a friend might actually not be a friend and probably do something bad to you. So just don't accept friend requests from somebody you don't know. If somebody is troubling you, this goes especially for young ones or parents who are attending this webinar. If your child is using internet, keep a dialogue going on with your child for things that he sees on the internet, because in case he is being a victim to cyber stalking, then you can help him by doing the right things against it, by informing the right authorities who would take actions against it. Now, how can Quick Heal help you and save your computer and your computer data? Quick Heal protects your computer and the data with these security features. Web security. Now, this feature in the QuickHeal software automatically blocks phishing and infected websites, which are designed to steal your personal information or infect your computer with malware. Safe banking. It secures your online financial transactions, lets you shop, bank, and pay bills on the internet with complete security. Core protection detects and blocks worms, trojans, spyware, and all the other types of viruses and malware from reaching your system, infecting your system. Email security. This feature proactively blocks spams and phishing emails which try to trick you into visiting fake, infected, or phishing websites. Browser sandbox. Browser sandbox is a very important feature which runs your internet browsers in a virtual environment. This blocks malicious files which may automatically get downloaded from affecting your real PC. Firewall. Now, the firewall blocks external threats that try to reach your computer from the internet directly. Vulnerability scanner. Say, for example, if you have a security weakness in your computer, this vulnerability scanner helps you fix these security weaknesses, which might lead into a hacker infiltrating your system and hijacking your data. Thank you very much everyone for joining us in today's webinar. If you have any questions, you can start asking these questions after we finish this session. You can follow us on Facebook. The address is facebook.com/quickhealav. Your Twitter handle for QuickHeal is twitter.com/QuickHeal. The Google Plus Bitly URL is bit.ly/QuickHeal Google Plus. The recording of this webinar will be hosted on the QuickHeal's channel on YouTube, which is youtube.com/QuickHeal. And this presentation will be hosted on SlideShare. The address is slideshare.net/QuickHeal PPTs. For more information on QuickHeal products, please visit us at www.quickheal.com. To know more about the security world, please visit us at blogs.quickheal.com. We now begin with the question and answer session. Okay, let's see. We have a question from Manish Kumar. When is the latest version of QuickHeal security software coming? Well, Manish, we would be soon launching the beta testing for the latest version of QuickHeal. After the beta is launched, we will be launching the new software. So it's around the corner. Keep checking our website to know when the new software is launched. Okay, we have an important question. In case I decide to stop using Facebook permanently, how to close the account? Well, to tell you, Facebook account can be deactivated. There is a setting in your Facebook account. Please go to your privacy settings, and there is an option to deactivate the account. Once you deactivate the account, just do not go or log into your Facebook account after that. If you don't do it, then in a certain amount of time, about 30 days plus, it takes for Facebook to delete your account permanently. Sir, please let us know the pricing for Quick Heal Total Security one user. Okay, this question was asked by one of our attendees in the webinar. If you want to know about Quick Heal products or the pricing for the products, please visit our website. If you are from India, you can visit us at www.quickheel.co.in. If you are outside of India, you can visit us at www.quickheel.com. All the products and its pricing is mentioned on our website. Please feel free to buy our other products from our website. We have a question from Amit. Is it recommended to install internet security software for iMacs, which is your Mac computer, Mac desktop? If yes, which is the best software in the market? Now, to answer your question, Amit, yes, the answer is yes. If you should definitely install a security software for your iMac. We at Quick Heal we have a product for the Mac computers. The name of the product is Quick Heal Total Security for Mac. When you visit Quick Heal website, you will see this product Total Security for Mac available on our site. Uh, it's a must that you need to have a security for your iMacs also. So feel free to visit our site to know more about the product. We have a question from Ankit. Uh, Though we delete our uploads from social sites, does it still remain with them in their records? Well, Ankit, to be very honest with you, internet has a very big memory of itself. Even though you have posted something on Facebook, and if it gets shared, you really don't know how many people have shared it. So it's impossible for you to find out where it all it was been shared and deleted from all places. So, if you have posted anything on the internet, it has a elephant memory, as they say. It will never get completely deleted. So, the advice is before posting anything on the internet, please make sure you want to post it there, as you will not repent for it in the future. Okay. We have a question from Shraddha. Downloading softwares from torrents, is it recommended? Well, Shraddha, to be honest with you, if you are downloading unpatched software, if you're downloading software from not so legitimate sources, there could be a danger involved where the software that you are downloading could be infected with a malware. So it's always recommended that you should not download any software from illegitimate sources. If you want softwares, you can go to the official websites of those companies, and you can, if you want to evaluate first, a lot of these companies do give you a 30-day evaluation copy of the software where you can evaluate and then later decide if you want to purchase the software. But uh, honestly, sites like torrents, which are P2P networking sites, you never know the intention of the person who has uploaded that software for you. Software basically not only for you but for general public. If the software is infected with a malware, you pose a danger of your system getting infected with that malware. There is a question from Sanjay. How can I secure my mobile and my tablet from the security threats on the internet? Well, Sanjay, to answer your question, QuickHeal has security products for mobile phone and for your tablets. For an Android phone, we have various sets of products. We have products which is QuickHeal total security for Android and Heal Fantastic. Now these two products are for Android, where your and Fantastic is a product where we not only help you protect yourself from the threats of the internet, but also proactively tell you about the health or the health of your device rather. So it may be your battery life, may be the memory consumption. If your performance of your phone is getting degraded, this contactless software will proactively tell you, as a friend would proactively tell you if something is wrong with you. So do use these softwares to make sure your devices are protected. Your more Android phone is protected, and for Android tablets, we also have a product on our website which is called as a Quick Heal Tablet Security for Android. How to protect Android phones? Rajiv, this question is from Rajiv as to how to protect Android phones. I've already answered this question. To protect your Android phones, we have two softwares on our website available which you can use to protect your Android phones. We have a very important question from one of our attendees. How to secure our children, especially from porn websites. Now, I completely agree with you, Sheetal. Definitely, we need to protect our children from the dangers of the internet, from the sites which are not good for our children at the moment. It may not it's just not restricted only to porn sites, but it also there are a lot of things that are included. There are sites which talk about violence. There are sites which talk about cheating methods. These in principle will destroy the innocence of the child, and as a concern, this was raised as a concern a lot of years before with Quick Heal, and what we have come up with a software called as parental control. This particular feature is available in the Quick Heal Total Security software, where a concerned parent will be able to control the access of sites made by the child on the laptop. So you can control as to which websites the child can visit and which websites he cannot. You can do a category wise listing, a category wise blocking. So if you don't want your child to access social networking sites, you can block them. If you want your child to access like for example, you can do an exception, like you don't want him to visit social networking sites but only Facebook, then you can add Facebook also as an exception. Also, if you want to make sure that your child is accessing internet during the time when you are in home, then you can access it, you can allow the access to internet that way also. So you can decide which time or which day, which time of the week the child can access the internet. Make sure that the PC on which the child is accessing the internet is not kept in some corner, but it's in a place where you can keep a close eye on what the child is doing on the internet, because that way the child feels confident that somebody is around me, and you also feel confident that the child is not going to the sites which you don't want him to go to. I hope this answers your question. Sheetal, just to advise you more on this, please go visit our website. Please visit our website. On the total security page, there is information about parental control. Please do visit us this link, and if you have more questions, you can write to us at corporatecommunications@quickheal.co.in, and we'll be more than happy to answer any of your further questions. I think we have a little technical question here from Vishal. How to deal with the virus folders in Quick Heal? I think Vishal, this is question more pertaining to our support team. If you are from India, please call us on 927 2233 000, and you can talk to any of our engineers in the support team, or you can write to us at www.quickheal.com/submit ticket, where you can pose your questions to a support team and they will answer all your queries. We have a question from Shantanu. Some third-party websites which are trusted sites like PayPal stores and like PayPal and which stores credit card information. Do you see any threats there? Now, Shantanu, I completely agree with you. PayPal is secure as they say it also on their site, but we have seen instances where information which is stored on any of these sites cannot if there is any attack on the site, like for example, uh, I have seen a various number of attacks wherein people's login credentials for Gmail have been exposed. Even last year, this incidents happened where Sony pictures and the Sony Xbox, no, not the Sony Xbox, the Sony PS2, that was under attack, and a lot of people lost their credit card information stored in the PS2. So it's not that these sites are secure always, but it's always a good practice not to store information on those sites. Rather, you want to secure information, use those information every time as the first time and not store it anywhere. It's not a good practice. We don't recommend you do that. Is there a okay? There we have another question. Is there any biometric solution for identification of passwords so that you don't need to type the password and a person can log in with the fingerprint? It definitely looks like a technology that can be used by people at large. I believe this technology is only restricted to a few laptops and to a few mobile phone companies. I believe only the Apple iPhone and I believe one more company has this fingerprint technology which can be used for authentication. But a majority of these laptops which have been used, or the phones which have been used, do not come with a biometric solution. So uh, once this is introduced as a global phenomenon, definitely it is a secure way of transacting. Yeah, I agree with you. How to stop browser hijacking? Well, definitely it's a good question. Now, browser hijacking can be stopped. The first and the foremost thing that you should do is to clean your browser. Use a browser sandbox feature which comes into the Quick products. This when you use the browser sandbox feature, it basically protects you from even if there is an accidental click that happens on any of the softwares, and if any software program gets downloaded, this particular happens in case if there is a malware, and auto download of the malware happens, still your real PC does not get affected by it. This is the best way you can secure your browsers. Don't store passwords in your browsers. Don't store credit card information in your browsers. That's a second best practice to follow. Uh, are there any tools to resolve the problem? Yes, Sheetal, as I advised you earlier, you can visit the QuickHeal website. The QuickHeal Total Security software has a parental control feature to help you keep your child safe on the internet. We have a question from Balram, a very interesting one. Can you tell me how to know if someone has compromised your computer? Well, If you think your computer has been compromised, like say there is a malware attack on your computer, or if you want to say that somebody has hacked into your computer, check for the data in your computer. If you find that some of your data is missing, or some of the files which you probably might not have access has been accessed, that's a clear indicative that your file has been accessed in your behalf by somebody else. That's a clear indicator. Now, secondly, coming to a very important question, which is if your system has been compromised, the security of your system has been compromised, there are a few indicators for it. Say if your computer starts working abnormally, there are pop-ups, there are sites which your computer takes you to, which you don't know. There is a possibility that your system security has been compromised. Best way to do it is scan your system for malwares, for viruses. Uh, Very important thing to do is whenever you get a new device, make sure you put in you first thing you do is install a strong, robust antivirus that protects your computers from these kind of dangers. We have another question. How frequently should you run the malwares, anti-malware system and scan your computer? Now, this depends on the way you browse the internet. So, I am in a often I'm in a habit where there are some files that in my computer which I do not use very regularly. So I have created partitions in my websites and I've stored files and folders where I don't use that information very regularly. And then I have a portion where I download stuff from, where I can store my temporary files. So all these places which are frequently used need to be scanned on very frequent basis. Places which where you do not visit, or places or folders of a file which you do not use for a longer duration, can be put as an exception from your frequent scanning, because that will save your effort and your resources, and that way you can save time upon not scanning those things which you know are secure for sure, or which you have already scanned and made sure they're secure. We have a question from Mehul. Which of your product is best for enterprise level company having more than 500 computers? Uh, Mehul, we have a lot of enterprise level security software. Uh, we have the Securite endpoint security. You can get more information about your Securite endpoint security on our website, which is securite.com. I will spell it for you. It is seqrite.com. There are password storing apps on Play Store. Is it safe to use? We have a question from Rajiv. Rajiv, definitely you can go ahead and use these password storing apps, but please make sure that the reputation of this app lives to your expectation, because if this app will not securely store your passwords, then the security of your phone and your application is compromised. So make sure you check thoroughly the reputation of these apps before you use them. Well, most of the vendors of Mac mention that an antivirus is not required. Well, Amit, this is a question from Amit where he says that most of the vendors of selling Mac PCs mention that Mac do not need an antivirus. Well, Mac does need an antivirus because there is a lot of threats that we have come across which affect the or which compromise the security of Macs also. So it definitely is required. If you want to know more about the Quick Heals product on Mac, you can visit our website and check out the product which is called as Quick Heal Total Security for Mac. It will tell you the ways in which this product secures your Mac from the dangers of internet. Does the Quick Heal provide any anti-spyware or anti-malware software? Yes, Harshal, the Quick Heal, any of the Quick Heal's products, which is the Quick Heal Antivirus Pro or the Internet Security or the Total Security, all these products come with a core protection which has not only an antivirus but it also has an anti-spyware, anti-malware, anti-rootkit in it, which protects you from these threats also. A very intelligent question by Kishore. If safe banking option is present in the quick heal automatically, which provides security, then how can we use it? And how can we use the safe banking feature? Okay, let me answer this question for you. When you install the quick heal total security on your computer, there automatically is a module of safe banking which gets installed whenever you are doing or you're about to do a transaction on internet banking, maybe a shopping transaction or a banking transaction. First, click on the Save Banking option. It opens up a window. You can launch your browser through this window. Now, any transaction you do through Save Banking, it will make sure that it is protected from any hacker or any malware, which will not be able to steal any information you do in your internet banking transactions. I hope this answers your question. Shankar has asked us a question. Can you provide us with an email address in case I have any questions I can ask you in the future? Well, definitely, Shankar. You can write to us at corporate communications at quickheal.co.in and you can ask your questions, whichever whatever you have. We will do our best to answer all your questions. I think we have run out of all the questions. I think we have run out of all the questions uh, for today. In case you have more questions, we have one last question which is coming the last minute. How do you get this session's recording? Okay, so Shashank Patel, we'll be posting this video of this webinar on our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel for QuickHeal is youtube.com/QuickHeal. For all the people who have registered for today's webinar, we will be sending you an email tomorrow with the link to the video and the link to the presentation, the PPT, which we will be hosting on SlideShare. I think we have run out of all questions today. Thank you all folks for joining us on today's webinar. I hope this session was interactive one. And as I said before, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach us at corporatecommunications@quickheal.co.in and we would love to answer all the questions whichever are possible for us. In case you have technical questions, you are a user of QuickHeal, you have technical questions, please feel free to reach our technical support. The number to reach them is 927 2233 I will repeat the number. The number to reach our technical support team is 927 2233 I am now handing over the mic to Saurabh to conclude today's session. Thank you very much and have a blessed day.
Thank you everyone for being with us for this webinar. We hope this webinar has helped you understand 30 killer internet security tips in a better manner. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.